Hey guys, welcome back. Few videos back, did some cleaning on my Browning Buckmark and discussed some issues I was having with failures to fire the rounds after the gun went to full battery and should have been ready to go. The trigger was not. It's almost as if the trigger was not setting. So we took it apart. We got to where I think we diagnosed what was going on with it, and I left the video with it put back together saying I was going to order some parts. So I got a package in the mail today from Midwest Gunworks, and what I ordered was a Browning Buckmark disconnector. And this ran me about almost $18. That's with shipping and all that. But basically what we figured out last time was that running underneath the hand grip is the disconnector, which connects from the trigger to the sear disconnect. It's a big bar, and there's a spring in there, and it basically was not allowing the trigger to release the sear, and thus releasing the hammer onto the firing pin. So we're going to replace that and see if that fixes our issue. Let's see. Oh, see, there it goes. That's the problem. So now what I found was if I press on the hand grip and put a lot of pressure on it, well, then it'll go. It'll do it every time if I press up here where that bar is running under there. So let's get this thing stripped down, and we'll change that part out and see if that's our issue, which I'm 99% sure that is the issue. So again, we've already checked it. Everything's clear. So alright, here we go. Let's get into it. Just like last time, take off the top cover, loosen the barrel, pull all this up, watch your spring under there. Not going to go through the whole thing, but because we already did a video on that. So hopefully in just a few minutes we'll have this sucker ready to rock and roll. Well, I did not mean to do that. Alright, well, I'll have to find that here in a second. You know, we talked about that in the last video. So I should have probably had my hand up here so that if it did go, it'd hit my hand. And I was stupid and had my hand back here. So that's on me. So anyway, like I said, here's the disconnect right here. So when the hammer's back, come on, focus. See, it's not grabbing that bar. That bar running right here is the sear disconnect, or trigger disconnect. So that's what it's supposed to do. So it's basically slipping up under that bar. That's not. Come on, focus. There we go. And it should be grabbing that bar. So, all right, let's take the hand grip off. There's two springs under here. One's actually a little V-shaped spring for that disconnect, and the other is a piece of spring steel for your mag release. So just take your hand grip off, careful. This one, that one will pop out. This one will just fall out. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. And then I'm going to put my finger over this one and pull this little bar off here. So now let's get our new piece out. And I'm looking at it and I can already see some differences. Number one, it's got a little, like a cutout there on the top, right in there. I guess that's, maybe it's universal for later models, but it's also a little bit longer on this bottom piece right here, and it's got a little bit of a downward bend to it. Don't know if y'all can see that. I can feel it with my finger, and this one does not. It is worn off, and so where I was thinking the wear was up here, it may very well now look like it's down here. So let's get that replaced. And actually first, let me find that guide rod and everything. So give me just a second. Let me cut this off because I don't want to knock the camera over. All right, found the pieces, so we're good. Of course, this is the super hard one to find. You think I would have learned after the last video. All right, so old piece, not worth the crap. Set that to the side. Let's put the new one in. Again, you've got this little V-shaped piece of spring steel in there. So be careful when you're putting this in, because you're going to have to push against it. So keep your finger over that, or otherwise it's going to go flying and put your eye out. Got to hook your trigger up here. Get the sear release bar, whatever you want to call it, up under there. And this butts up against that spring. So then I'm going to hook the trigger up first. And then just kind of, or actually, let me push it against the spring first. Hook the trigger up, and then we'll get it worked up under that bar. I think that'll probably work better. Yeah. Then push it down. Get it under that bar. Make sure it's under there. Come on now. There it goes. Alright, so. Come on. It's not wanting to cooperate. Obviously the grip holds all this on, so now we're in place. So let's get the grip on. Don't forget your mag release spring. Grip screw. All right, let's see. That already seems to feel a little better. Let's pull this hammer back. Well, I'd say we're in business. Oh yeah, see, that's way more positive lockup. Look at that. Yes. I'd say we got her. Alright, now let's put this bad boy back together. Let's assemble our guide rod, spring, and all that stuff, which of course we learned how to properly do in the last video after all my ridiculous struggling and cursing that I told y'all about. So now we know how to do this. So much easier. God. Alright. Yeah. I just go ahead and put the hammer down because it's just easier to pop this on there. You know, having to work against the hammer. So now I just get that in this little groove. That in this little groove. That's all that takes. Support the spring. Actually, the barrel, it's almost easier to go in at an angle like this instead of bringing them both down together. That way you don't have to pull this up as much, and it's less likely to send the spring flying. There. So now I'm going to just keep my hand on that spring back there while I tighten the snug the barrel down just enough to lock everything. I'm not going to go like super tight. Then I'm going to put the dust guard on. Then I'll go back and tighten the barrel and everything down. Alright, come on now. It's not wanting to thread up. There she goes. Don't forget your little washers in there. Alright, this one's Allen, which, like I said in the last video, mine's odd. I'm supposed to be 2 screws or 2 Allens. I got one of each, so I don't know what the deal is with all that. The German torque, good and tight. Yeah, so good tight. Now snug up the barrel rest of the way. So let's see what we got now. I'd call that a fix. I think we got it. So since this part is super worn, I'm not going to hang on to it. I'd originally talked about trying to dress it up with a file, and then if it worked and the new part came, I'd have 2, but this is just totally worn out shot, so we'll just throw it in this and then throw that in the trash. So I think we're good to go now. Let's see. I don't know if it's light enough to go pop a few rounds off, but maybe it is. So either we'll add a little sheeting onto the end of this, or this will be it. So appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you learned something. Don't be afraid to try and diagnose your gunsmithing issues yourself. They're not really that hard. Most of them are pretty simple mechanically. So alright, see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. gonna give it a shot. Shooting some old CCI ammo. Stuff's probably older than me. Well, it's way better than it was doing. We'll load up and we'll pop off a few more. Alright, the sun's getting low, but we'll try and hit the far targets. I don't know. I can't really see them too good. Yeah, they're kind of blending in. So anyway, function wise, way better. We'll load a few more, and before the sun gets too low where it's shining right in your faces. Whoa, I dropped one. I've never adjusted the sights on this gun, so as far as when I'm shooting longer range, I haven't really figured out where to hold it right now, but I'm also not the best pistol shooter either, so. Alright, Browning Buckmark. I think it's fixed. Alright, I had just enough for one more magazine. Alright, I appreciate y'all watching. See you on the next one.